Welcome back to the Boomerang Podcast. I'm Matt Geiger, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Donald Trump and the New Hampshire primary. Phenomenal information. Then I want to talk a little bit about financial news. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start out with some financial news. But what a time in New Hampshire that Trump's having. I mean, this guy blew it up last night. Today we're sitting at the 23rd, so his speech was last night. We're going to figure out the results tonight. My guess is Trump's going to smoke everybody in New Hampshire. It's not even close. He smoked everybody in Iowa. It's a done deal. Trump is going to be the nominee. However, there could be some shenanigans, and we'll get into that. But first, I want to talk a little bit about the economy because I saw a really good article today that I wanted to bring to everybody's attention. I just want to take some snippets of it because I thought there was some good information. The article's from wallstreetonparade.com. Great website. They usually have some pretty good writers over there. But this gentleman, Gerald Epstein, he's the author of Busting the Bankers Club, Finance for the Rest of Us. And he's basically, talking about in his book, I haven't read his book, but he's talking about how, there's an elite class and, of course, peasants like you and me. But he's talking about the chairman of the Bankers Club is the Federal Reserve, writes Epstein. That's because the Fed has strong-armed its way to becoming both the supervisor of the Wall Street mega banks while also being able to create money at the flip of an electronic switch, which it uses to funnel trillions of dollars in cheap loans to bail out the mega banks behind a dark curtain. So I thought that was really eloquently put because the Federal Reserve, a lot of people don't understand the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve, they really have two mandates, and that is to keep inflation low and to keep employment high. But they've essentially and they also have an off-balance sheet and an on-balance sheet. So we know the Federal Reserve to having debt on their on-balance sheet. That's the one that you and I can see, right? They also have an off-balance sheet. Their on-balance sheet, I think, has something like $8 to $10 trillion of debt, a massive amount of money, but nevertheless, seems small in comparison to the other debt out there. But they also have something called an off-balance sheet. So really, there's no oversight at the Fed. And that's what I think people should understand is that the Fed, they're the buyer and lender of last resort. If something's going bad in the economy like it is right now, the Fed just props it up. The Fed's been propping up the stock market all this time, right? A lot of people don't understand that, treasury bonds right now. Nobody wants them. Countries are dumping them. They're going to the Chinese yuan, right? And who's buying up U.S. treasuries? It's not people like you and me. It's the Fed. So really, in effect, what they're able to do is infinitely keep the system going as long as they want to. There's really no end to it in theory because they could just keep printing money, buying their own treasuries, and keep putting money into existence and just continue the system. It really comes back, and this is a good lesson for people about Dodd-Frank, the Dodd-Frank Act of 2010. But it says the unprecedented power of the Bankers Club is underscored by the reality that after the worst financial collapse in 2008 among Wall Street firms since the Great Depression, the legislation passed to remedy the corruption, excesses, and abuses, the Dodd-Frank Act of 2010, was little more than a draft left to compromise regulators to fashion into final rules. Epstein describes how Citigroup, with the help of its pals in the Bankers Club, gutted a key part of the legislation meant to rein in derivative abuses. Okay, so what these banks were able to do after the 2008 crash was instead of we thought they were going to start getting regulated, they actually deregulated. And that's why we're here right now. The repeal of the Glass-Steagall Act, and I'm just fast-forwarding through this. The repeal of the Glass-Steagall Act, the Banking Act of 1933, allowed Wall Street's trading houses to control the trillions of dollars of life savings from mom-and-pop depositors. The repeal meant that global trading behemoths like J.P. Morgan were allowed to merge with federally insured banks, backstopped and thus subsidized by the U.S. taxpayer. Today, J.P. Morgan owns more than 5,000 Chase Bank branches spread from coast to coast across America, accepting federally insured deposits from average Americans who have no idea that their money is being used to corrupt foreign officials, rig markets, and prop up Ponzi schemes. To be more precise, the repeal of the Glass-Steagall Act is allowing Wall Street casinos to corrupt everything that Americans hold dear while using Americans' own life savings to do it. And I just thought this was worth reading today because and everybody should check it out on wallstreetparade.com. But I thought it was very fitting based on what Trump had talked about last night, and I'll get into that in a moment. But just think about it. The bankers have been using our money this whole time to fund their own corrupt schemes, right? They can do whatever they want with it. They can borrow, lend, they have total flexibility, unlike, let's say, people like you and me. And we're at the end of this system. We're quite literally at the end. So when Trump went up last night, first off, I thought it was great that he made good with DeSantis, because anybody who watches this show knows that I've never bashed DeSantis. I think he was coordinated opposition with Trump. I think DeSantis this whole time has been a good guy. And it was nice to see Trump retire the name DeSanctimonious, although the name was very funny. Vivek Ramaswamy, he came on stage, gave a real quick, nice speech, reinforced the message. I thought it was great. Trump, he seemed very relaxed. He's funny as hell, right? He got up there just super calm, just almost like a stand-up comedy routine, phenomenal. But the part I want to get into, and we're going to pull up this video. I want you to watch this video first. This is at the, I think the 42-minute marker. It's my other piece of paper here. Yeah, I think it's at about the 41. I think the 41:21 marker, where he gives some very revealing information about the stock market. So people out there that are investing in stocks really should hear it from Trump himself, because Trump is the truth teller. He's the guy that's going to tell you what's going to happen down the pike. And what Trump first went into is the economy is horrible. If he gets a bad poll, that's going to sink the market. The stock market is running on fumes, and we're in 1929 territory. Run the clip. Take a look at this. It's about a minute long.
And that market went down trillions of dollars. The next Trump economic boom will begin on November 5th, 2024. It's going to be a boom like no other. And you know, the stock market is going good. You know why? Because the economy is horrible, except for the stock market, because everyone thinks we're going to get elected, and that's why they're doing it. These are very smart investors. If they see a bad poll, you're going to see some bad numbers. Or if you see a bad result tomorrow, you're going to see some very bad numbers. But they're running on the fumes of what we did in every way, including oil. We produced things that nobody ever thought possible. But the day after the election, they're going to turn it all off. You watch. But the stock market's running on fumes, and the stock market, literally, every single time you see good polls coming out from that, stock market goes crazy. So I want to just congratulate all of you investors, but you better hope I win, because otherwise you're going to be in 1929 territory, in my opinion. And we're going to bring America together through success. You know, we're going to bring the country together through success. Success is going to be the way it happens. That was happening until COVID came in, a couple of years, 2.5 years.
Trump just dropped a bomb. That was a bomb right there. What he just said was that the stock market performance is directly correlated to his poll numbers. So anybody in stocks right now, you're basically riding Trump's polls. That's what running on fumes really means, right? What a dangerous place to be, right? As you know, Midas Gold Group, right? I'm one of the gold brokers here. That's why gold and silver are so important. I think what people should be doing right now is they should be getting their money out of harm's way, right? Move it to the sidelines at this time, because these deep state actors, they're not going to let Trump into the presidency, no matter what. And the reason that is because if Trump does get back to the presidency, he's going to open investigations into these criminals, and they're legitimately criminals. That's the problem for them, is that they can open up, as many investigations into him as they want. They can put on 91 counts, go put on 9,000 counts of criminality on Trump. None of it's real. It's all nonsense, right? And I think anybody watching this knows that. But they're not going to let this guy take the presidency. So my feeling is based on what Trump's saying, is that the deep state is going to collapse the stock market by stopping Trump from going into the presidency, because the whole market is based on confidence that he's coming back into office and is going to fix things. So the market's ramping up right now. And I think what's going to wind up happening is Trump really holds the leverage here. He's forcing the deep state to crash their own system, trying to stop him. So if you have money in the market, get it the heck out of the way. And I just wanted to bring that to people's attention, because I thought it was such a, especially on the topic of gold and silver and why people should go into things like gold and silver. It's such an important point to really understand the dynamics as to why somebody, let's say with a big portfolio, should move that money to the sidelines, right? If your entire life savings or retirement savings is based on poll numbers on Trump, is that really a place you want to be in? So I just wanted to bring that to people's attention today. And also, before I go, check out the interview I just did with David K. Clements, Professor Clements. he is somebody who is unbelievable in terms of the thing that happens every 4 years, right? I don't want to say here. He has been on the forefront, and I will tell everybody, get out there and watch his movie, Let My People Go. You can find it on letmypeoplego.movie. Use the code, I think he said CD. I'll give you another code. It's SV, Sydney Victor, Neverland. And you can go watch that movie at half price. I would say pay the full price. Get that movie out there, because what he does in that movie is he outlines all the things that happen. Every mainstream media narrative that he puts out, he completely debunks it as far as those machines, right? We know the machines. But definitely check out David K. Clements' movie. And if you want to get in touch with me, very simple, give me a call. My direct phone number is 480-725-0536. Would love to help you guys out. I hope you like the other videos I just put up. Had Chad Robichaud in here, American legend. What a guy. Nicest guy in the world. Wouldn't want to meet him on the battlefield, that's for sure. But and also you can get in touch with us just by texting Boomerang to 232425. But I just wanted to kind of bring some of the information that came across my desk today, kind of make some sense of it, and I hope that was helpful for everybody out there. And we'll see you on the next episode.